think I am live, but this is a different way. I'm going live on my computer, and usually I do it on my phone, but I decided I should probably just do it on this screen so that I could see you guys a little bit better. But hello, hello. So I can't see if there are any comments yet. So drop a comment and say hello. It is officially the first day of summer for me, but somebody please comment to make sure that I am really live because this looks a little different than what I'm used to. So comment below and say hello. And let me know if you guys are out for the summer yet, where you are with your kids, or if you're still not. Oh, good, Ashton. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so that means I am live and I'm in the right place, and this really is working even though this looks so different. But so we just barely got out of school yesterday. So today is the official first day of summer with my kids. And just by way of introduction, my name is Becky Sattler, and I've been with Scentsy for 15 years. Oh, you're sitting by the pool, Ashton. I love that. I wish we had a pool. We don't, but if I did, I would be sitting by the pool today and every day. Probably under the shade because my skin doesn't love the sun, but anyway, so that sounds heavenly. So anyway, Ashton, thanks again for organizing this. This is great. I love the idea. I love the topic of how we can do more with less time, less involvement, less thinking Scentsy all the time, less being in Scentsy, less being in the office, so that we can do all the life that Scentsy is here to help us do. So I have 5 kids, just by way of introduction, so you can kind of know where I'm coming from. Like I said, I joined Scentsy 15 years ago, so I've been in it for a long time, and lots of summers with my kids, lots of Christmas breaks and seasons, lots of just crazy time. My oldest is 19, so I have 19, 17, 15, 13, and 9. So we are right in the middle of the busy teenage stage, but I've been in the middle of busy little kid stage where they were always home and they never went to school, and just kind of everything in between. So I know what busy is, and I'm very passionate about this because, like I said, it's so important for us to be able to not sacrifice our why to get to our why. Does that make sense? A lot of times when you say, well, what did you join for? Why did you want to do Scentsy? And a lot of times it's to have a better future for our children, or to have more time with our family, or to quit our jobs so we can stay home. But guess what? That is the why that you sacrifice if you don't keep the priorities in place first, to where then you are just working, and you're like, well, I'm going to sacrifice now so that I can be with them later. I can quit my job later and then I'll be home with them, or I'm just going to work for this season and then I'll have my team big enough that I can coast. It doesn't work that way, my friends. And I love this reminder that we have to keep our priorities in place, and that we definitely can make a business that will support all of those dreams, all of those whys. It really can happen. It's happened for me. But you have to intentionally make sure that you are keeping it simple and that you are keeping your priorities in place first, not Scentsy. There was a big time in my Scentsy career that Scentsy kind of was my life. It was everything that I thought about that. And I've always been very intentional about being there with my kids and being present in body. But I found for a while that my mind was always thinking Scentsy. My mind was always thinking about, okay, how can I help that team member? How can I get some more sales? How can I encourage my team, these people to sign up, or whatever it is? So I was there physically because I knew that I didn't want to sacrifice that, but I was kind of guilty of not really being there. And I was, anyway, just kind of going through the motions of being a mom. And for me, that is my why. I wanted to make sure that, like my child, when I had her as a 4-year-old and she was in preschool, and I found myself just wishing she would hurry and go to school. And then I'm like, wait a minute, she is my purpose. Like, you can't ever get your child as a 4-year-old again. So that's why it's so important to realize and keep your priorities where you want them, whatever that looks like. If your priority is, mountain biking because you love to mountain bike, well, don't sacrifice that to make your business work and to make your dreams come true. Figure out how to do them both and how to do it more effectively with your time so that it can open up the life that you want to. Like I said, I've been around for 15 years, and so my business has had so many different seasons, and it's needed to be different in our life. I joined at the beginning because my husband had just graduated from grad school, and we had $100,000 in student loan debt, and with a 10.5% interest. And it was that interest rate that just killed me because I literally saw that money just being wasted. So for me, I went and tried to get a job, and I had 2 little toddlers, and I just had my youngest. He was like 6 months old, and not even that. And I went and I got this job, and I interviewed, and I got it, and they were like, okay, you can get it. And the night before I was supposed to start, I just had that yucky feeling in the pit of my stomach where I can't leave my babies. This is not where I'm supposed to be right now. And this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So for me, my why was taking care of the finances, but I knew that it had to be very carefully constructed so that I wouldn't miss that time with my kids. So that's why I joined, and that's what it did for our families. It helped me pay off those student loans. And then later, my husband was actually laid off from his job for 4.5 years. He worked with me, and we did side by side working Scentsy together because we could, and because I had grown that business slowly in the nooks and crannies and during the nap times and after the kids went to bed and whenever I could, intentionally working the business in simple ways that it could then be what it needed to be. And hopefully you guys never need that and that your jobs are nice and stable. But if something comes up, or if summer camps come up and they're expensive, or if it comes up that your daughter gets the chance to be on this really good gymnastics team, you don't have to say no, because you've built a business that truly can support your life. So again, it's all about the priorities and making those dreams come true, doing it in a way that is nothing you will ever look back and regret and be like, oh, I should have done it differently, or oh, I wish I would have, had more time with whatever. So that's why I love the theme. So, okay, hello everybody. Thanks for letting me know where you're coming in from. Omaha, Virginia Beach, all the fun things by the pool. That's great. I'm in Idaho, so I'm just down the road from home office. We've got gorgeous weather today. Like I said, it's the first day of summer vacation, so it's a little crazy. But so one way that I found over the years is there are lots of different ways to run your Scentsy business. And the way that I keep it simple is finding ways to multiply my efforts. I do one thing and it gets to multiple people. So I know you guys have some other fun speakers that are going to talk about happy mail and things like that. But one way that I do that as well is through my postcards. So when summer gets busy, I know that at least once or twice a month, I have at least contacted my every single people. And if you post on social media, you don't always know that they're going to see it, because there's the algorithm and everything changes. And if they don't see you, or if some reason your social media accounts are like, oh, we're going to put you in Facebook jail, or we're going to just kind of put you lower down on the totem pole, then you're going to all of that effort. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying, for me, the reason why I love emailing and postcards is I know that every single month they at least get me in their inbox. So they don't always have to open it, but it goes into their brain of, oh, Scentsy, my Scentsy girl. So here's all the postcards that I made. I didn't send them out yet. I usually send them out on the first of the month or just before, so they get them on the first of the month. But I kept them because I was like, this is a great visual reminder of, this took me an hour to get this all done. That's it. It took me an hour. I did not create this. This is in the What Did You Share? Beautiful. Everyone's so kind to share that. And that's not my forte. So use what is your forte and then share with others the rest. So I, like I said, this is like my emails, but it's representative because this was 1 hour of work. But look how I contacted all of my customers all at once and here's some important tips. So however you get it, remember we are in this for buy, sell, oh my gosh, I can't remember what they are right now. Buy, host, join. So anytime that you're trying to get somebody to buy from you, remember you also want them to be your hosts, because then it multiplies your efforts. Instead of getting one sale, you're using that one contact to get lots of sales. It's that same effort and that same effect that I'm talking about, whether it's emails or hosting parties or sending out a postcard or something like that. And then as well as join. So you want to make it easy for them to buy, and you want to make it so that they remember how to buy from you and that they remember you. So make it personal. So I'll talk about how I do that with my emails, but in my postcard, I put a QR code so it's easy for them to use that on their phone and then just easily buy, because they might even remember, oh yeah, there's that girl that I've bought from before. But is it easy for them to find your link? Is it easy for them to then open it up and look at it? There's also a link on the front that I put for them to go straight to the Bring Back My Bars, because that's what I was highlighting on this summer special. So again, this was an hour, and look how I contacted all of my customers all at once, at least one touch point in the month. And then I know, okay, at least they've heard from me this month. So, okay. I want to talk about some So I love emails. I love them because a lot of people say email is dead and nobody uses emails and nobody opens up their emails and texting is better. Texting is great, and that's another way that you can do it as well. But I get a lot more people blocking my number when I text than when I send them emails. So for me, I love that I can, like I said, I can send an email. And remember, you want people to like, know, and trust you. It's just like, so a big problem that I see a lot of people when they send out emails is they will do it just like doing flyers on Facebook. Have you ever seen a consultant, or have you ever been guilty of doing this, where you're like, I don't really want to show my face and I'm not very creative, so I'm just going to take these flyers from the workstation and just spam my Facebook and then just keep posting all these flyers and say, this is only $29.99, buy this now. That's not very likely to get somebody to buy. We make decisions. So here's my secret. Are you ready for my secret? I read this quote years ago, and it has infiltrated literally every training I do, how I talk to my kids and try to get them to do something, every email that I send, everything that I post online. It all is from this quote. Are you ready? Oh, Karen, I love you. So here's my quote. It's from a neurologist. So he studies the brain and how we think and how it really affects your life. So that's why I'm like, okay, this is science. And it's true. I've seen it true in my life, and that's why I use it all the time. So here's the quote. It says, the main difference between, oh my gosh, it's my quote, but my brain is frozen right now. So the main difference between information and emotion is that information leads to conclusions and emotion leads to action. So if we're wanting people to act on our posts on social media, if we were wanting our kids to act and make their beds or practice their piano, if we were wanting our customers to act and buy or join or host, we can't leave it in the information level, because that will lead to conclusions. They will conclude, oh, yes, she is a successful businesswoman, or oh, yes, that is a good deal, or oh, yes, that is a great value in the whiff box this month or whatever. But again, we don't want it here because that leads to conclusions. It's emotion that leads to action. So if we want to get them to act on the emails that we're sending out, to act on the posts that we're sending out, to act on whatever we're asking somebody to do or trying to get them to do, it's not manipulation. It's realizing that's how humans work. It's like with the Olympics. Whenever they're trying to get you to buy Tide in the Olympics, they don't show all the ingredients list or how it's per scoop, it's more of a value because it cleans better or whatever. They don't do that. If you realize, how are we being marketed to? What works for us? It's that emotion. They show the girl waking up really early and the mom bringing her daughter to soccer practice all those years and all the soccer stains that she's getting out of her clothes. They don't even mention what's in there, the ingredients list or how much it costs or whatever. They're showing you the emotion of, if you're a mother and you love your daughter, you will keep her uniform clean because you use Tide or whatever. So again, remember that is how we as humans will buy things, because we love the heart of it. So connect on an emotional level. That doesn't mean you need to make them cry. That means you need to be you. So again, no spamming flyers or whatever. Yes, Amanda, facts tell and stories sell, and feelings. Yes, again, we need to connect as humans. So in my emails, my favorite thing to do is I kind of rotate through. But a lot of times you can do like a favorite 5 of the week. Remember, one of my tips that I wrote down is don't only share what's on sale, because again, that's up here. And that's connecting with, oh yeah, you can get more. But if you're going to share what's on sale, you could do it something like, spend less on Scentsy this summer so that you can, afford those summer camps or something like that. Keep it in the emotion. But also, don't always assume that people are going to buy because it's on sale. I love to buy stuff when I know that it's going to make my life better. Even if it's something that's way more expensive. I'm not a consumer. I'm not a shopper. I don't buy things. But if there's something that I see that is going to solve a problem for me and make my life better somehow, of course I'm going to buy it. And whether it's on sale or not, because I'm not sold on the price. That's one way to sell it. But I'm sold on the result. What is it going to do for my life? How's it going to make my life better? So if we approach our emails and our marketing and our online and everything with that same frame of mind, how can we make their life better? How can we show them that this will make your life better, or this will solve a problem? So think of a problem that you have and how Scentsy has solved that problem this week. Whether it is stinky shoes or a dirty counter that needs to be washed, or fingerprints on your fridge because all the kids are home for summer now. And oh look, my counter clean makes it nice and cleany. So nice and shiny. So instead of talking about the ingredients list on what's on our counter clean or how much it is per ounce, or if you bundle and save, you get it cheaper. Again, what problem can you solve with it? Those are the same thing that I love to put in my emails. So you don't have to only share deals, and you don't have to share everything in your emails. I see some emails that are like as long as the day is. Think of the emails that you like to read. What kind of headlines make you open them? What kind of hooks keep you interested? And it's usually not, here's what's in this email. It's usually some kind of problem that you're going to solve, because again, that gets to hear, oh, that's going to solve my problem. Or, oh, I have had that same feeling. She relates to me. So again, keep it in the emotions, because that's how you lead to actions. So don't feel like you have to share only deals. Don't feel like you have to share everything that comes out. And my favorite is to do like a product highlight. So in my emails, I like to do either like my top 5 of the week, just 5 products that I've been using, or 5 things. And it's not always just products. Sometimes it's a book that I've read or actually listened to. Let's be real. I don't really read books very often. I listen to them more often while I'm doing something, because it's crazy busy, right? Or it's, my favorite way to use one of my products, or something like that. So again, you could do like a top 3 or a top 5. Something that, again, shares something. You couldn't just have somebody else write that email for you, because it's bringing you in there. So I love to do a product highlight. So what I like to do is throughout the week when I'm using something, or a lot of times, actually, here's my other secret, I will batch my content, and I will do it all a month ahead of time. So again, summer's busy. I don't want to have to remember, did I send out my email this week? Did I make a video so that I can include it? What am I going to put? What's coming out this week? Again, if you don't just focus on the sales and what's happening right now, you can batch your content, meaning you can write a bunch of emails, or even just have your little content calendar. You could just get out a simple calendar like this, just something simple, and write, okay, this week, my Friday email, my Friday faves. That's what I usually do. I do a Friday faves, and I do like my top 5, what I'm loving this week. And so I do my Friday faves. So I have every single Friday. So a lot of times I'll be like, okay, what are some, and it could even be my favorite fragrance. It's nothing that's new. It's just, what am I loving right now? Or my Friday faves of, hey, I want to do a product highlight of Counter Clean, because I've been using it a lot in the summer, and I want to make sure people know how I use it. Or, my Scentsy air purifier. People might not know exactly how to use it. So in my Friday faves, a lot of times what I do is, they call it repurposing your content. So I will make in my little calendar where I say, okay, today I want to highlight the air purifier. And again, remember, I've made this a month ahead of time, because I don't want to be thinking about it. It's summertime. I want to be present with my kids. So instead I'll be like, okay, here's my calendar for the month before. And I know that I'm going to want to talk about the air purifier. And I want just a short little 1 minute at most video of me either using it in my home, or showing it, or even just me telling about it and holding beside it. So it's more like an educational kind of a thing. And I will make a short little video, and I will embed that video into my email. I will put that video onto my YouTube Shorts. I will use that video sometime, or even schedule it onto Instagram, or into my stories, or onto Facebook. So again, did you see how I used that one idea of what I'm going to talk about, that one piece of content, meaning that little video or that picture that I took with my face in it, so it's original. It doesn't have to be professional, but it's me and how I'm using it. And I just used it and scheduled it for all of those different ways, all at the same time. So again, keeping it simple, however you want to do it. If you're like, oh, I don't do YouTube, great, don't do YouTube. Or if you're like, oh, I don't want to do social media. I'm kind of guilty of that. Social media is really hard for me to keep up with, because I just am like, I'm living my busy life, and I'm living my best life, and I don't want to, kind of interrupt it to be like, oh, I need to post that. So find what works for you, and do that. For me, that's emails, because I can schedule them, and because I know that regardless of the algorithm, everybody's going to get an inbox from me at least once a month. So in there, another little tip is to make sure you have your link or a QR code or something like that, so that it's easy and convenient. So once they see that problem that you're solving, and you answer that question for them, then they're like, oh yes, I need to get that. Or, oh, thanks for reminding me. It's kind of like when I go to the dentist. If they don't schedule me for the next 6-month cleaning, I have to remember, and I have to look back and be like, how long has it been? Oh, I need to call and get that scheduled. Yes, I want to go. Yes, I'm more than happy to pay my money to keep all of our teeth cleaned. But it's annoying for me to have to look it up and find it and make that. make that appointment. So it's the same thing with our customers. They're more than happy to keep their house smelling yummy because you are helping solve that problem of the stinky summers or the busy whatever, and so you make it easy and convenient for them to buy from you, and because they have want to buy from you. Okay, Rhonda, how can I schedule emails? That's another part that I wanted to talk about just very quickly. Is there's a lot of different programs, or they call them platforms, that you can use to send out your emails. So some are expensive, some are free, some are somewhere in the middle. So the cheapest way to do it, and probably the easiest technological way, is to write an email in your contacts tab of the workstation. I will say they're working on it, but it's been years since that's been very consistent. But even if it's not, sending an email out and only having it get to half of your contacts is better than zero. So don't have that keep you from that. Project Broadcast you can do as well, but that's texting them. And you can email out with Project Broadcast too, I think. I've never used it for that. I personally use Flowdesk. I started with the workstation because all of your contacts are already in there. And then I moved to MailChimp for a long time, because if it's still the same as when I did it, MailChimp is free for up to 2,000 contacts. So as long as your list isn't huge and you're still building, you can use MailChimp, which is a free program, and it's just a way for you to keep that list, keep those numbers. They call it list building, where you have a way to keep all of the emails of all of your customers who've ever bought from you or ever been interested, or even just anybody that walks by your booth or attends a party. Even if they don't buy anything, you want to be collecting those emails from them so that you can warm up those contacts. And again, maybe they don't have money or they're not interested right now, but maybe they will be next month or next year. And if you keep nurturing that contact and that lead, they will most likely come back to you. So you can do it through the workstation because they're already in there, but you have to manually enter in every contact that way. But that's one way to do it. And then you just go to, send an email and you send it out. Like I said, I've done MailChimp where you add it in and then it caps you at that certain amount. So as long as you're only you don't have to do an email every week. I do my Friday faves because that's what my people expect from me. I'm not super active on social media, so they know if they're going to find me, I'm going to come into their email inbox with my face and a story from my week and what I've been using and what we're doing. But again, if that's too much for you, you can I know a friend of mine also does it every other Friday on payday, because she's like, I want to hit it when they've got money. So if you can just do it twice a month, that's okay. Or if you're like, you know what, that's still way too much, I want to do it every third Thursday. Whatever you want to do, once a month is great. Just make it consistent so that they know when it's coming back, because again, then in the back of their mind, they'll kind of wait for it and they'll kind of be like, oh yeah, I know I'm getting another email soon with her link, so I don't have to look it up. So again, there are a lot of different ways you can do it. Right now I do Flowdesk because it's $20 a month, so you do have to pay. So definitely don't spend money if you're not making money. But for me, it's a business write-off, and I love it because I can schedule emails ahead of time, and I can even create like a sequence where I can have a follow-up, and anyway, that's a little level 2.0, but there's a lot of things that you can do with it if you want to do that, and if you like to. I'm kind of nerdy, so I like all of the computer stuff, and it's just, again, over the years I've been so busy with my kids that I'm like, that is one way that I can schedule an email at 10 o'clock at night after they're in bed, but I can't call people to follow up that way. Does that make sense? And then I can schedule it to go out the next morning, but I don't have to do that because I'm in the carpooling, So again, there's a lot of different ways. Figure out how to make it. And if you're like technologically level 1, don't try to go in and make it too complicated. Don't even necessarily try to schedule it. Just hand write out your little calendar and write out what you want to write about, and then just schedule out every Friday morning at 8 in the morning that you have an hour to write your email, if that's how long it takes you. It can be way quicker, and the more you do it, the faster it'll be. And then you just sit down and you owe that to yourself. That's my appointment every Friday. Then you don't have to worry about scheduling it out. You don't have to worry about how to do it. Do it at 6 in the morning if you need, before the kids wake up or before you go to work or whatever, level -1. That's okay. Start with where you are. I've also seen people write it on a Word doc and then just copy it over and then paste it into their email. If you have like Gmail or Hotmail, sometimes it's hard to get that to deliver because those services are like, oh, I'm not a mass email service. I don't want to be growing your business this way. So sometimes they'll kind of block you. So you could even try it through your regular email account if you want as well. It's just, you just got to make a list. so that you, again, are keeping that. It's like a book of business, and it's like your little treasure trove. But okay, let me see what else. So anyway, Rhonda, if you have any other questions, I'm trying to keep it simple so that it's doable at all levels, as simple or as complicated it can be. I like Flowdesk because, like I said, you can do like a landing page where I can say, hey, if you want to get my top key tips for, or my 3 favorite ways to change your wax, send, sign up for it here. And then they give me their email, and then I give them a freebie of some sort. And then again, that's growing my email list. But if you just keep it in your mind that you're trying to grow your email list, you can do that through every single order form. Make sure you get their email. Sometimes I even highlight the order form if I'm doing a party and say, hey, if you put your email in there and your phone number, because I also want to text them sometimes, then you'll get a prize or something like that. So again, just remember that keeping that top of mind, you want to get their email. So order forms or ballot boxes, if you're doing a drawing, again, make sure that they have to put their email in there. A game for an online party, you can do that, and you can get their email as well. You just have to be creative and intentional with, I want to grow that list. A drawing entry slip for a basket party. Create a form through email and include in your bio link. So like in your email signature or something, you could have, sign up for my email here. We have that on our workstation as well. It's at the very bottom of not our workstation, our PWS. If you go down, there's a sign up for my email. So if nothing else, you can just send people there, and then you don't even have to keep track of that list because it's on your Scentsy email. And then create lead magnets like I was talking about. That's just giving a freebie for getting their email. And if that's a little too technical, don't worry about that. But if you're like, hey, I've got this level 1 now of I'm sending it out, and now I want to take it to the next level, just know that there are a lot more things that you can do with email. So, okay, man, this time just goes by so fast. So, yeah, I think that's the main thing, is remember to be you. Do it the way that you will do it, or else you will not follow through. It'll be too complicated and you won't do it. So remember, put you into it, show up as you are, and oh, good. Okay, Rhonda, I just taught myself to import my contacts and send my first mass text in Project Broadcast. Good. And a lot of people like Project Broadcast because you can think about it and you can send it right out, or you can find a cute graphic to go with it, or a picture of yourself, the same thing. So just do whatever works for you. A lot of times, like I said, for me, I really like the consistency of my emails, because they know every Friday they're going to get my Friday faves, and they're going to get what I love and a short little video of me using it, or me even just wiping off my counters. So that's kind of like, they feel like they hang out with me for a little bit every Friday, even though I send one email and I'm connecting and spending time and following up with every single person on my list, my customers as well as those who haven't bought from me yet, but that I just happen to have their emails. So, okay, dang, that went by so fast, but there's just so many great things that you can do to multiply your time and your effort. Do less to get more, whatever that looks like in your business. And remember, in your emails, you're always trying to help remind them about things like club that they can just always get. And then that keeps your sales coming in. And remind them, if you have some kind of special, or even just remind them that they can host, or they can take your basket, or whatever it is that you want to do, you can put that in your email. And especially join. I like to show just a picture of a team get together, or a picture of us at SFR, and just be like, hey, looking for some more friends this summer, whatever. Again, keep it natural and normal, because people buy from and join and party with those who they like, who they know, and who they trust. And the only way that happens is here and not here. So don't just give them the details of price and ingredients and what's in this and when you get it and dates. Remember, keep it here to where they feel like they are excited and that you can really help solve a problem in their life. So, okay, any questions before I go, and then I will love you and leave you, because again, it's busy summer and it's time for me to go play with my kids. We're headed to the pool today. So, any other questions before I go? Like I said, don't overcomplicate it. And if you're like, oh my gosh, this was too crazy, too complicated, just start with level 1. That's okay. Just start with level 1, which is finding some way to show up consistently. For me, that's emails. It could also be, like I said at the beginning, a postcard where you do it once a month and you at least contact all of your customers at least once a month. Whether that is through a text. If your customers really like a quick text, great. just again, keep it short and sweet. Think about the texts that you get from businesses that are effective. Think about the emails that you get that are interesting that you actually open, and then try to make yours that way as well. Remember, leave everybody a little bit better than you found them. And then that way it's not just selling, but you literally are making the world a better place through your Scentsy business. And that's my favorite thing to do. It really can change your life, and you really can keep your business running and thriving in the summer. You just have to be intentional about where you spend your time and your effort, and do things that can multiply that effort so that you get more, but with less of your precious time. That's all we have in this life is time. So make sure you're using it to run your business, because otherwise your business won't just magically grow. And it also doesn't just pause during the summer. If you don't do anything this summer because you're like, I'm too busy, or if you just watch all these trainings but you don't really take at least one thing and put it into practice, your business can't be that huge blessing to you that it really has the potential to be, like it has been for my life. So anyway, you guys are the best. I don't see any questions coming in, but go ahead and keep commenting underneath if questions come up, and I'll try to monitor it throughout the day or the week or whatever, because I am more than happy to help. Okay, you guys are the best. Here is to a fantastic summer, keeping it simple, but keeping that Scentsy engine burning. It's kind of like a river. If you're not at least tied to the side of the shore, or using your paddles to go upstream, you'll be floating downstream with your business. And then when you try to pick it up in the fall, you'll be like, dang, I have gone all the way down this river that I didn't even know I was on, and now I have to paddle all the way back stream to get back up to where I was. So you guys are the best. You can do it. Focus your time and figure out what you like to do so that it's fun. Your business should be fun and exciting for you, and it'll be fun and exciting for your friends to buy and even join you this summer too. So what group did you get your postcards from? I think I got it from the What Did You Share group. Yeah, or there's a Canva group that has a lot that shares as well. Yeah, I love that about our Scentsy community, that everybody's so willing to help each other and to share where they are, where they have strengths. So anyway, or you can make your own. I have also gotten one from Kimberly Polita before, where she just does the scent and the warmer of the month and then some highlight of a product. And I've used that before, because then I just change that template every week, or every month. And so as long as you get one, or you can even just make your own, they're really not that complicated. I just overcomplicate things. So anyway, and then, yeah, then you can at least send it out that way. Or if you're like, that's money, I don't have, a postcard stamp for every customer of mine, then don't do it that way. Find some way that works for you and your family. So, okay. Any other questions? Jen, did that answer? Thanks for joining, everybody. You guys are the best. And yeah, here's to a great, great summer, keeping our business rolling. So, okay. Love you guys. Have a great day.